The third test between the two countries kicks off tomorrow, a day after Christmas, but there is little merriment, especially in the Indian camp, as they gear up to tackle the hosts after a loss in the previous test. The Boxing Day test is a huge challenge for India. It's the Indian skipper who's landing the punches ahead of the test. The target is his own team. Captain Rohit Sharma is always the smiling face in press conferences. Win or lose, Rohit Sharma is on point with his philosophical take on the situation. He's practical, funny, and knows how to keep things light. But the build-up to this test has been anything but that. Rohit Sharma is turning into a bit of a bad cop for this one before they take the field in Melbourne tomorrow. Jasprit Bumrah has carried the responsibility of the entire bowling attack single-handedly on his shoulders. He's been the bowler Australia has feared the most, and Rohit Sharma is asking the rest to show up.
Bumrah is certainly making the most of it. It's always nice to have somebody like him in your team. When he's at that form, the job of the other bowlers becomes a little easier. Siraj and the other guys who are bowling around him obviously know they need to step up to get the job done as well.
While he acknowledges that Jasprit Bumrah has been the best, he's also telling the rest of the bowlers to pull up their socks, because Bumrah in the series has taken 21 wickets single-handedly. The rest of the bowlers have contributed to 26 collectively. It's a stark difference, and that has in fact been the bottom line in this entire series. Over-reliance on the one pacer who's leading the charge tirelessly. And Rohit Sharma is asking his team to change that narrative. Harshit Rana was introduced at the start of the series, and while he did dismiss Travis Head, Rana was not impressive in keeping that pressure up. Akash Deep stepped in, and while he was the right replacement, he is still someone who is very young in this, someone who needs more time to learn the ropes. Unfortunately, Bumrah is the most experienced and skillful of the lot. R. Ashwin, the other senior-most bowler in the ranks, not only announced his retirement right in the middle of the series, but left for India the very next day, which has also ruffled some feathers and created an unrest in that dressing room. Thirdly, of course, Rohit Sharma had hoped that Mohammed Shami would have joined the squad early to give the much required boost and that added firepower support from the other end to go with Bumrah. But that did not pan out the way their skipper would have liked to. You sensed the frustration at the presser some days back when he said this.
I think it's high time somebody from NCA talks about him, where he is rehabbing. The door is open if those guys at the NCA feel that he is okay to go and recover and play. We'll be happy to have him.
And so days after that statement, the BCCI was forced to release one saying Shami was unfit for selection for the rest of the series. This just came a couple of days back. Shami, in fact, has not played international cricket for little over a year now. And that's a huge break if you just take a look at that timeline of his. He last played the ODI World Cup. That was last October, November in India. He sustained an ankle injury right after that required surgery. He gave the ODI series versus Sri Lanka and South Africa a miss. He skipped the 2024 IPL, the entire Indian Premier League, and had to also skip the Test series against England, Bangladesh, New Zealand, and of course now with this one, Australia. He was recuperating at home. In fact, there were many fluttering moments earlier this year when Shami released a lot of these pictures and videos of him practicing at his home. That, of course, gave many a hope that he would come back sooner. And he did make a comeback to domestic cricket just last month. He featured in the Ranji Trophy for his state side, West Bengal, and looked promising. In his comeback game, he bowled more than 40 overs, took 7 wickets, and even made a quick-fire 36 with the bat. He also went on to play all of the T20 matches at the Saeed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, around 9 of them, before his knee started experiencing swelling. He went to the NCA, where he remains. What he's getting really good at while recovering at the NCA is his batting. Reportedly, Shami is striking some lusty blows at the NCA nets, which brings me to an apt point as we look ahead to that Boxing Day test. Now, I understand Rohit Sharma's frustration when it comes to his bowling unit and him seeking those answers against an Australian lineup, but the batting has clearly let the team down, Rohit Sharma included. The highest individual scores have come in the first test at Perth when two of their top order batters scored hundreds. We remembered those knocks, Virat Kohli and Yashasvi Jaiswal. In fact, their highest team score was only at Perth. Thereafter, the batters collectively have made scores of 180, 175 and 260. That's how India's team totals have looked. Now, I understand Rohit Sharma's fury, but there are many gaping holes in that lineup that needs fixing, and that's not just the bowling. In the batting department, the experienced hands have not delivered, and the youngsters have been overawed by the situation, resulting in India really coming under a lot of pressure.
All these boys, Gill, Jaiswal and Pant, are in the same boat. Let's not complicate their process. They know what expectations are with them. When you travel abroad, it's not that easy to put on those big runs every time you step out. We need to make them aware of the match process and the small things. We don't need to complicate their plans and thought process.
Rohit Sharma also went on to say that modern day greats like Virat Kohli will find his own way and didn't need any other support from any other quarter for this. The news, of course, that we are also hearing is that Rohit Sharma could actually come out and open with Yashasvi Jaiswal. There might be a lot of rearrangement to that batting lineup with KL Rahul moving up, which makes us wonder where would Virat Kohli or someone like Shubman Gill feature. Time is ticking though, and they need to try and make these experiments, which is probably the reason why the team is thinking this way. So while it's good to play the tough cop occasionally like he's had, a lot of self-reflection is the need of the hour, which we would hope to see at Melbourne.